Okay, so Kootenay Silver, we're an exploration and discovery team in Mexico, solely focused in Mexico. Northern Mexico is where our projects are. We've had a lot of success in discoveries in Mexico. And so moving on, we'll have the forward-looking statements, of course. And people look to Kootenay Silver for investment for two reasons. Primarily for, two reasons. Our explosive upside in our new Columba discovery, which is classic high-grade Mexican vein system. And then our large resource base, which is one of the largest junior-owned resource base, silver resource bases in Mexico. So capital structure, you can see here, $359 million issued and outstanding. We just finished a financing of 55 million more shares issued, and so we currently have about 5.3 million cash in the bank. Key shareholders, as you can see up here, Eric Sprott. Condire is a fund out of Texas with over 9%. Management directors, institutions include institutions here in Toronto and Switzerland, and quite a few high net worth and sort of managed family money in Switzerland as well. And then investments from majors. This is a testament to our discovery success in the past. These are not currently shareholders, but Coeur Mining because of the La Ciguera discovery, one of our resource projects. Agnico Eagle because of our original Promontorio resource discovery. And then Pan American came in because of a second discovery we made on that Promontorio property called La Negra, which does not yet have a resource on it, but there's one there to define. So our focus has been the last couple years on Columba in the past 12 months solely on Columba because it's emerging as a very significant new high-grade vein discovery. Our resource, and this is all backed by our resource properties, which total 136 million ounces silver equivalent, M&I, and 35 million more ounces in the inferred. That is in the Promontorio La Negra and La Ciguera projects. And then we also run a grassroots program in parallel with everything we do, looking for new opportunities. This is how we've found all of these projects to date. And a lot of those early stage projects we acquire through staking or deal making, and they are generally higher risk, and so we bring in partners to advance those. And the most advanced of those is the Cervantes Gold Copper Project, which has a pretty good oxide gold discovery underway there. Our partner earned their interest, and we just recently sold the remaining interest to them for 10 million shares at a 0.5% royalty. So the projects are located in northern Mexico. You can see here on the screen our high-grade discovery here at Columba is northern Chihuahua, 3-hour drive from the capital city on pavement, very well located. Our resource project La Ciguera in the famous Parel district. This red line depicts the Sierra Madre trend where many of the major silver mining districts of Mexico lie. And then our original resource discovery is in southern Sonora there, called Promontorio. Over the last year here, we've had a lot of drill results coming out. Some of the very best drill results we've ever had come out through this summer, drilling in the Columba. The sale of that remaining interest to Aztec Minerals on the Cervantes project. And then the Columba results is the real highlight. We've now completed 27,000 meters and 135 holes there. And so what's this project all about? Well, here's a vein, one of the veins sticking out of the ground. It's over 20 meters across there. So these are wide veins. We're getting some numerous veins with thick, high-grade results in them. And 2 eras of historic mining, or 1910 and about 1960 again. In 1910, they were getting ready for some pretty serious production. They had a shaft down 200 meters and 6 levels put out. This is what attracted us when we first to enter an option to acquire 100% here, were the results from that old mine. And the sample records showed some pretty high grades there, which we've more than confirmed with several programs of drilling since then. And not only on that historic vein, but multiple other veins where we're getting some incredible results, as you can see here. 17.8 meters at 650 gram per ton silver. And then our best hole to date is 90 meters deeper on that same vein, 34 meters of over half a kilo. And that true width on that particular vein is about 20 meters. So some just incredible numbers here. So looking at the project itself, what we're looking at here is actually called a collapsed caldera. You can see this shaped bowl. That's a caldera, and it's barely exposed the top of the productive part of the veins. So this vein system is almost entirely preserved, and we've now traced these structures and veins for 4 kilometers in that direction and 3 kilometers in that direction. So being barely, almost entirely preserved, whatever was deposited there is still here. And when you compare the footprint of this vein system with some known recent successes, here's the Las Chispas Silvercrest footprint on the left, the Vizsla Panuco project in the center, and there's our project on the right-hand side. So we certainly see potential for 100 million ounce plus potential here. And being a vein system in the caldera, I think it's even got potential for multiples of that. And this image is just showing a number of the different areas that we have drilled, and is showing you the multiple vein areas with real fat, thick intercepts of high grade. Up here was 6 meters over 2,000 grams per ton. This on the right-hand side is quite significant because at surface you don't even see the vein, but when you drill down to the level the vein is developed, you're getting up to over a kilo of silver over half a meter there. So even though you don't see it at surface, it's there underneath your feet. And then some of the historic area in the F vein here, we've got over 40 holes. We've defined consistent mineralization over 700 meters. It's not just the one vein. We've hit a hang wall, parallel veins in the hang wall and footwall. And we've taken that down to a minimum of 300 meter vertical depth, and we're still seeing up to 700 grams per ton at that depth. Then these veins in the south here are looking the strongest so far. That's where we have the 34 meters, a half kilo in the D vein, wide open to expansion, and the B vein there, we're getting up to 4.5 meters of 1,200 gram per ton. And at surface, there you don't see any value. You see 2 grams per ton, that's it. And what we'd like to do here is 50,000 meters of drilling to get us to maiden resource and a long way towards a PEA staged program. This is the historically worked vein, the F vein. Down to 300 meter depths here, you can still see we're in 700 grams per ton. Over here, there's over 2,000 grams per ton, still open to depth. That happens to be a footwall vein, actually, separate vein. D vein, we've drilled along 400 meters of length here so far, and some incredible numbers, as you can see. That's a 17 meters at 650, floored by 34 meters at half a kilo. That's one of the very deepest holes in the whole project. And we're getting up to 5.9 kilograms silver and 20% combined lead zinc in that hole. We can follow this structure for over 1,200 meters at surface. We've only drilled 400 meters of that strike so far. Similarly on the B vein, classic zonation at surface, you're not getting any values. You see your structure there. You start getting deeper. You're starting to pick up a little silver. You get down to that 1,700 meter level, and now you're starting to get into some real serious grades. 4.6 meters of that should be 1186 grams per ton. 2 meters of over a kilo here within a 13 meter interval of high grade. So thick and high grade. Lots of great upside size here. And we're going down in a couple weeks to evaluate all these results and look at the new vein models and design the next program. And Columba, and like I say, what we're shooting for here is a staged 50,000 meters of drilling. And so after with this meeting in a couple of weeks, we'll know what the next phase is going to look like exactly. And then this is backed by our resource projects, and you'll see if you look at our share chart, our price, it correlates very well with the silver price. And so we trade off this optionality on our resources, one of them which is in the famous Parral district of Mexico. So our large land package is on the extension of the Santa Barbara, San Francisco, Del Oro part of the district, where over 500 million ounces of silver have been produced. And Grupo Mexico is mining at 2,000 meter depths there today. Our resource, which sits up here, is open pit constrained. Most of our drilling's only been to 150 meter depth. This sits within a 10-kilometer long structure. Lots of upside potential here. But given the silver price and the grade we have here at around 86 in the M&I, this is a project that will start advancing when we're getting into a true silver bull market again. And we get paid for that investment of investing more money here. Now, we'll say we have done a new geologic model here because the current resource model is pretty simplistic, and what we see here is that we think this grade has been diluted a fair bit. So we've got the model ready to go, and as soon as the market is in a bull market, we'll start to invest more money in that project again. Our original discovery was a promontorio, a big low-grade diatreme, silver, gold, lead, zinc system. And then we made a second discovery called the Negra, which sticks right out of the ground, bulk, sort of a big breccia system. Pan American got very excited about that project, took an option on where they're going to provide all the financing right to production and leave us with 25% if La Negra got to 50 million ounces. Now it didn't, so we got it back 100%. Now, we think this could be a real nice project for a small producer. Some incredible grades from surface, 156 meters, 56 grams over 200 meters with 420 grams over 50 meters, for example. Simple metallurgy so far looks like a leach, getting into low 80s to low 90s. And so potential for a good high-margin producer for somebody. And then our Cervantes, our pipeline of projects, this is the project we sold our remaining interest in to Aztec Minerals. Big copper gold porphyry system with a nice gold oxide cap here with good potential for 500,000 ounces of heap leach oxide there. And we now own 10 million shares of that company and a 0.5% royalty. The board here, very quickly, just I'm a geologist myself. I've been involved in the junior resource side for many years. I was one of the founders of National Gold, which we bought the Mulatos deposit from Placer Dome 20 years ago and brought in Alamos Minerals to help finance it and became Alamos Gold. Stepped off that board in 2012. Ken Berry's my partner and chairman of the company. He put the Moss Mine into production in about 4 years from resource stage to open pit heap leach gold mine in Arizona recently. So the point is our board and advisors has experience right from grassroots exploration through to mine building and mine operations and financing every one of those stages. So pretty good depth there for a junior company. So that brings us full circle here. We've got a very large resource base that in Mexico gives us this optionality and trades with silver price very nicely. And then this exciting new Columba drill discovery we think is going to turn into a real winner here. Lots of drilling to do, and that's going to be our focus here going forward. So I think we got just enough time for questions.